Well, welcome back to the Homesteading Grandparents Kitchen this afternoon. Y'all were with me this morning and we did the pickled onions and they're turning out pretty good looking. So as promised, I'm gonna do the meatloaf and as you can see, I have all my ingredients ready to go. So I have 2 pounds of ground meat. So around here in our area, rodeo is huge. I'm not a cowgirl. I don't pretend to be a cowgirl. I don't have any boots or anything like that, but it's real big around here. And I like to take the kids to the fair whenever we can. Due to COVID last year and this year, they did not have rodeo. However, it's real big for children to show their show animals. And the kids work very hard all year long on their calves, their pigs, their chickens, rabbits, goats, you name it. They do it all around here. Well, they couldn't do rodeo last year at all, and they were not able to show their animals last year. So Phil and I found out about that, and we historically in the past have bought meat from like a half a calf or whatever, sharing it. We couldn't find anybody to share but a quarter of it. So Phil and I we did purchase one from a child in our area, and we ended up with 3/4 of a calf. Talk about some good tasting meat. The ground meat is real good. It's real lean. You just can't buy this flavor in the store. The ribeyes are good. The fillets are wonderful. And believe it or not, my kids love the fillets. They have very expensive taste because you try to go buy a fillet from local meat market down here and it's not cheap at all. But if that's what they like, that's what we feed them. So anyway, this is fresh ground meat and it's 2 pounds and fresh eggs from our chickens. So we're going to put 1 egg per pound of ground meat. So I have them already, one of them already ready to go, and I'll just crack the other one. And I like to crack it in a bowl and check to make sure there's not any nasty on the egg itself, because sometimes with your fresh eggs you will get that. I just don't throw the whole egg away if I can get off what's in there. And believe it or not, sometimes there's pieces of feed. Their feed is in there. It's kind of weird to me, but that's what I like to think it is anyway. So I don't measure anything for this recipe. My sweet little mother-in-law gave me the recipe over the phone and I ended up making it, and it's been one of the things that I make around here. I'm not gonna say often, but I do like to make it, and I just don't measure anything, so y'all just follow along with me. And we'll put the ingredients on the YouTube as we upload it. We'll have the recipe on there. Now, I'm only gonna put just a little bit of Tony's. Phil and Nan like it a little bit spicier, but there's one of the children who really can't handle any spice at all. So we just add pepper and red pepper flakes to our plate after we make it, or he likes to use Tabasco. So I'm gonna put some McCormicks Italian seasoning in, and I can't get anything out of those little bitty holes, so I'm gonna open up the container. And I just sprinkle it in there, and that was probably maybe a tablespoon. And then I use the Progresso garlic and herb breadcrumbs. So, and there's going to be quite a bit of liquid too. So, and again, I'm not measuring. Looks like about a 1/4 cup. And I'm going to use some Italian dressing. And there wasn't that much left in here, so I just used the whole container. And I may have to add more breadcrumbs here in just a minute. And then Lee & Perrins Worcestershire. And we all say that word differently. And I'm going to put a little bit of garlic. And I'm going to put a little bit of salt. Now, I use gloves to mix my meat because I can't stand that stuff under my fingernails. While I don't have long nails and I don't get my nails done because they're always in water. They're always, if I'm outside doing stuff, they get dirty. Having kids around here, it's just not one of the things that I can pleasure myself with these days. But I do get pedicures, and that feels oh so wonderful. So I'm going to mix this up, and I'm thinking it's looking. I do need to add a little bit more breadcrumbs, so I'm going to take this glove off and do that, because I don't want to touch my container. And you know, this is probably a recipe like most everybody else makes their meatloaf. However, the gravy is what's going to be the game changer in this. Just mix it all up, and I'm going to put it in this pan, and I'm going to brown it just a little bit. And I have just a little tad of oil in there, and I know we brown it to kind of get the oil out, but I'll have to drain it later. And I like to do mine in smaller pieces instead of bigger ones. They're easier to manage in your pot. So I will do that. And I think I can, no, maybe not. Maybe I'll just do 2 at a time and then the other 2. Yeah, we'll do that. I use the gloves around here all the time. So we're going to have the meatloaf with the gravy, with mashed potatoes and rice, because some don't like the mashed potatoes. Some will eat the rice. Some probably won't eat any of it. And that's okay too. Whoever don't, they can have bread and butter for dinner. It's been a real challenge around here lately. I have cooked 2 meals this week that a couple of the kids get to the table and says, I don't like that. Right off the bat, didn't even try it. I don't like it. Okay, no problem. So cooking around here is a challenge sometimes, but I get over it. So we're gonna let this brown. I have my Pyrex dish ready to go. Once they're browned, I'm gonna put them in here. Now, here's gonna be the game changer. I have 3 cans of cream of mushroom. Cream of chicken here that I've already put in here. Kitchen Bouquet, and I understand you can't find this anymore. Probably about, I don't remember when. It might have been through COVID. No, it couldn't have been through COVID. But anyway, sometime back I bought 2 bottles of it. Well, about 6 months later, I learned that they quit making it. Why? This is good stuff. So this is what browns the gravy. And again, I don't measure, but I will show you what it should look like. I'm gonna have to find another browning because I don't know what I'm gonna do now without the Kitchen Bouquet. So I put everything in here and I mix it up, and I'm going to add a little bit of broth to it. And see, that's not brown enough because it's a brown gravy. Now that's looking better. Oh yeah, that's the color I'm wanting. And then I'm going to put a little bit of chicken broth just to kind of thin that because it'll thicken back up. And I don't put onions in the meat because some of the kids will eat the meat with rice and gravy, or who don't want the rice and gravy or the potatoes and gravy, they will have macaroni and cheese. So I will put a few onions in the gravy and let it cook that way. And I'm not putting much. And this is what was left over from the onions. I put it in my Ninja and just chopped it up. I've put 4 cups like this chopped in the freezer already, and we'll use it for salsa making. I use it in all my dishes throughout the year. I really don't use it for my gumbos. I find that frozen onions, once you try to use them in a roux, it just don't work as good to me. I have done it, I just prefer not to. So this is browning nicely. I'll just turn it over. I probably didn't let that one get brown enough, but I'll just squeeze it all back together. I'll let the other one brown just a little bit longer. So this is what's going to be for our dinner. What's for your dinner tonight? Well, since we were here earlier, I got a call from the daycare. And our 4-year-old little man, Noah, was being bad at school. So I had to go get him and bring him home, and he's in his bedroom, and hopefully he's going to sleep. And it's 1:30. He better be going to sleep. I had to go get him. He's taking a nap. If any of y'all have any problems with your grandkids, I know it's hard on the kids. This is probably not where they choose to be. They would prefer to be with their parents, with their mom and dad, but some cases are just not possible. And the caregivers are the ones who have to deal with their processing what they're going through. It's not their fault. They can't help it. Some express it way different than others, and he's got a way of expressing his. So yeah, he's taking a nap. I think because he knew Pa Phil was home today, he didn't want to be at school. He wanted to be home. He thought we were having fun. Well, he's going to see what fun is. So this is quite a bit of meat. So I'll share with Mom and Dad, or Mom and Pop. The kids call them Momsy and Popsy. And they'll be glad to have a free meal. And once the meat is browned in the oven, I will drain off any excess grease. And then before I add the soup mix to it, I heat it in the microwave. You don't ever want to pour cold anything in your hot glassware because it will break it. So just make sure that you heat this first and get it, you don't have to boil it, but just get it hot enough that it's not going to make a difference with the two temperatures connecting with each other. So that's what we do. And we'll just let these brown, like I said. I'm gonna put it in the oven on 350 and let it bake for probably about an hour. And then I'll drain the excess grease off. I'll add my soup mix and cover it and let it bake for probably another hour. And there's your recipe, people. Try it and let me know what you think of it. I would like to know. And just want to say thank you for watching again. And if you liked it, hit us a thumbs up.
Where do these go?
Oh, you can put them in there. No, I was supposed to talk about these. Phil picked these yesterday from our garden. So we're going to have fresh squash with dinner also. So we have fresh meat, fresh eggs, fresh onions, and fresh squash. Does it get better than that? I don't think so. Anyway, thanks for joining us today, and please share stories with us and share recipes. We'd like to see that. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And until next time Nan talks to y'all, have a good one. Bye.
All right, so here we are enjoying Nan's hard work. Abby, what do you think about this meatloaf?
10 out of 10.
Huh?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Awesome. Cece?
10 out of 10.
Fantastic. Bridget?
It's already been spoken 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Little man, is it a thumbs up?
Yeah.
All right. Nan, what do you think?
I think it's awesome.
Oh, SpongeBob SquarePants even thinks it's good? Awesome.
It's macaroni.
Yeah, I give it a vote of a 10 out of 10 too. Good job, Nan. Thanks for your hard work today. It is an awesome meal.
Goodbye, Mr. Hot.
All right. Everybody say goodbye.
Goodbye, Mr. Hot.
Love y'all. Goodbye.